just to like like grab the data from the database and post some data in our database, like put or post like update or delete or like this kind of things is happening with our backend. So you have to understand that this today's session is most important than others. We have completed this.
Sishenduda, sorry to interrupt. Will you please share this curriculum?
Okay, no issue. I'll show.
Yes, thank you.
Now, today's session we'll do this. Okay. I guess everybody received the like backend structure. I told yesterday about this to like take this backend structure from my GitHub and like share with your mates. So
yes, I shared that
okay.
with
Yeah,
the,
you can call me Dada also.
yeah, sure.
Okay. So let's start.
Sir, I'm facing some problem while connecting with the database.
Connecting with the database.
Yes, sir.
What is the
Showing,
problem?
I'm showing. Can I share, sir? My screen.
Share.
Sir, this is showing.
Wait, let me read. Go up in the console first. No, not too much. Show me the yes. Wait. Node one is recognized as the name of node one after. Okay, so it will be node one space src/app.js. Do it.
What's sir? Node one.
Node one, right? Node one, and save the pages first. Student.js and the con.js page. Wait. First, let me verify. Okay, con.js, connection.js. Save this one. Now just do it. Node one space
Node one space
src
src
/ app.js. Hit enter. Okay. npmi node one. Okay, node one spelling is wrong. NODEMON. Node one spelling will be NODEMON.
NODMON.
NODE.
Okay. DMON.
Yes. Space src/app.js. Okay. Now npmi node one. Do one more thing. npmi, write npmi express.js. Now npm I express. Uh, Horizon node modules folder. Show me your node modules folder.
Yes.
This one, right? Open validator, go to validator. Only validator is downloaded. Okay. Do you have the node environment?
Yes,
Right,
sir.
right. Node minus version. Just one second. Right node space minus version. Okay. So you have the node environment. No problem. I don't know what is the problem that your like node modules like okay you're on the MERN. Like write cd space basic node.js basic n space
You see,
do not give space n caps node.js node n caps node j
D,
caps
D cap,
s
S,
hyphen a dash main main.
MAIN, sir.
Yes, main.
Hello, sir.
Yes, yes.
Sir, can I get video last Sunday video? Actually,
All of the videos are shared with all of sudden I
Yes,
guess
sir.
he hosted.
Group in the group. Link
I
have
have the video. Sishanuda, I can share because
Okay.
Suni sir has been shared. I
Okay.
can share. I will share.
Now hit enter.
okay. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
Now write npm I express. npm I first hit enter npm I.
My
I yes
enter.
enter. What percent time? npm I node mon nodemon yes
Enter, sir.
yes. npm I express. Now write node mon src/app.js. slash after slash. Okay. Not once recognized as a lemma. Are you using like is your laptop Windows? You
Yes,
are
sir.
using Windows operating system. So what's the problem? Open the CMD, okay? Open the CMD first. Command prompt.
Is it visible, sir?
No. I guess you just shared the like this screen only.
So how can share whole window?
Stop sharing
Okay, sir.
and now share. Share with the first block. There will be
First one.
yes. Okay. Now go to this folder CD. Write CD
CD.
desktop space desktop slash MERN slash basic node.js b basic n caps j caps dash main
Main.
main hit enter node1 src space src slash app.js enter. Okay, so there is a problem. Okay, I'll see it later because for this if I try to solve this
Okay, sir.
right
Okay.
now, it will
Okay.
problem for others. Let's start with the session. Let's go. So let's just do a normal tool to our main tool for backend, which is uh, this one, Postman. Okay. So these are the methods we are going to use. Main we will use get, post, put, and delete. This method. Okay. Now, rest methods are not used too much. Okay. And one more thing that we have to use like this one, authorization, auth 2.0. Okay. These settings. So you have to learn what is the settings. Okay. Just try to grab. Now let's start to this section. In previous day, I told you like there is 2 or 3 way to post data in our like, can you read the group link? There is 2 or 3 way to like send data to our backend. One is request body, one is request two is request param, 3 is request query. Okay. Basically, we'll use the request body method to post anything in our database. So let's check whether there is we have a database connection over here. Yes. This is our database, I guess. Two database created. I don't know why. First one. Delete this one. We'll use this database. Okay. PCS MERN training. The database name is given wrong. Okay, no issue. Okay. This database we are going to use. First, same process. We have to create a route first. App dot the method name which we are using for post is post method. Now the route name, let's add student. The route name is given, then the function will be async function, right? Async, then this function holds 2 parameters, one is request, one is response. Then the arrow function, then so this is the REST endpoint we are going to hit for posting some data. Okay, so we are going to like give the name const name of the student equals to request from where, from body dot we are posting the name as student name. This is student name. Okay. The next line, const, let's say gender. Request dot body dot student gender. Now third variable, const class, let's say subject. Request dot body dot student subject, const, next parameter will be const company name. Dot request from body dot company name. Okay, so I guess this is clear for everyone. I'm just declaring some variable and taking the response, taking the request, taking the response from the like requesting the body, which is what is body. This thing is our body. This is our body. We are requesting the body to give our give us the student name, student gender, student subject, and company name. So you have to send this. Now, what we have to do? Okay. Now start the try catch method. Try catch error console dot log the error is that is concatenating concatenating the error with this string. Now the try block, what we have to do. Yes. So we just have to create. What is our table name? It's student, and we have to require this. Not like this, because we are already requiring it from here. Student dot create. We are creating what? Name as name. This is the key and this is the value we are giving to our key. Okay. Gender as gender. This is now subject as subject. Now the key name company and the value will be company. Okay, we created the table successfully, but there is an error. What? We have to use the await student dot create. Created. Just store this in a variable named student. STUDENT. Student equals to await student dot create. This in this key we have to create like this one. So there is nothing. Let me check this. If there is something. This is the key and this is the value we are going to give. So this is the key and this is the value. Now look, the database is empty. Okay. Now we are going to save this in our database. Wait, student dot and the function for posting in any data in our posting this data in our database is completed. Okay, let's run this. First, mon src /app dot js. Started our database, listening to port number 3002, connection successful. Okay, so the port number is 3002, right? Local host 3002 slash the route name we are given over here is this is the route name, this is the REST endpoint name at student. Give at student. Okay. Now what we are requesting from body, let's check these things. Student name. Okay, so we have to give the student name. Let's give the student name. Student name as key. Then we have to give the value. First we like write all the parameters we have to give, all the data we have to give. Then the student gender. Then the student subject. Then company. Let's give the student name as A, B, C. Student gender as male. Student subject as JavaScript. And company name as PCS. And okay. Now, just you have to save this. Okay. Let's just do this. Okay. There is an error. Can anyone tell me what is the error? By checking this both side, can anyone tell me what is the error? In yesterday's session, like in previous session, we already discussed about it. That's why I'm asking. Can anyone tell me what is the error?
So I think we have to use post here
Where?
instead of get.
Yes. Yes. Who just like what's your name?
Wasim sir.
Nice. We'll get to see the response over here. Okay. One more thing we did not do. We have to send the response dot status. And this one just console log. No problem. And console log, but this is the way and concatenate the error is now the response we are giving this show to here and the data will be added to our database. Now let's check what is the issue. Okay, so let's check this. Response dot status 200%. So it's done. Okay. So what is the error? I am going to explain. So the error is right over here. Validator error. path.email is required. Okay. And we are giving what? This is the validation. We are giving the name, gender, subject, and company. But we have to check the model first. No? So what the model need? The model need the name, the age, the email, and subject. So we have to pass these four things to our database. We cannot add extra things. So this is the problem. So we have to give the let's change the parameter in this side. Like let's give it gender. Now word string for email, just change the email to like into company and not give it true. For this, we are going to pass one more thing. This is email, which will be let's give one more company type string, then required true, then unique, delete. No, company name should not be unique. There will be multiple people who is working with this calculation. So we have four things to give, which is required. Name is required, gender is required. We have to give the gender. Email is required. We have to give the email. We have to pass the email actually. We have to pass the company name and we have to pass the subject. So what we are passing over here, we are passing name, gender, subject, company. One thing we did not pass, which is email. Const email. Now just give this last parameter, which is email, which will be our one more primary. One primary key is generated by our MongoDB, which is object ID. And second one is email, because we are going to give the email as unique. If we don't give the email as unique, it will show the duplicate key error. It will show the duplicate key error. Okay. Now, email as student. ABC at the rate. Now so that when the data is successfully entered, you will see this kind of message in your screen. Okay. This object ID is generated by MongoDB itself, and this we are giving. Okay. Now let's check our database. See, we receive this. So where we will use this? Let's say there will be a there is a form in React.js. Okay. And someone is inputting something, inputting a value in React.js or in any front-end language, front-end technologies. So there is a form. They are giving the name, gender, subject, company, and email. We'll pass the value to the body. Okay, and our backend will receive this and store it in our database. Okay, I guess this is clear to everyone. Then why we are using Express.js with MongoDB. Now, next step. Let's create one more table. To create one more table, we have to go to the model first. Create one model, which is name like like what can we give? Let's say, say address dot js. This is our model name. Okay, we just copy the syntax to address js. C is the basic syntax. To give another name, address schema. We have to require this in our index.js folder as address where address. So we imported one more model in our database and we are giving here address. Let's say primary address, which will be string. Let's give it optional. No, okay. Let's give it the like required type, required true, and give the next one like secondary address as optional. For optional, we don't need to give any required field. Okay. Then we have to give one more thing, which is user, which will be our mongoose dot schema, mongoose dot model dot mongoose dot schema dot type dot object ID. Mongoose dot schema dot types dot object ID. Let's check whether the syntax is right or wrong. First, just complete this and type, and this will be take reference from our student model STUDE. This is the basic schema design we have to do for like the reference in our like what in our like MySQL we have a foreign key. So think this is the foreign key. Okay. We are going to store the object ID of this table over here to connect with it. Let's just check whether it is working or not. Let's create one more post request. app dot post, then add address, comma, async. It will pass two parameters, request, comma, response, then the arrow function, and this one. Now what we have to do? We have to just create. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you this short how to do it. First, we have to like require the table where we want to like if where we want to store the data, which is given index address. Copy this and just paste this. Okay, it's done. Now what we have to do? Let's see. Await address dot create. What we have to give? Let's check. Primary address of this. Primary address. Request dot body dot primary address. For the next one, we have to give secondary address. Request dot body dot secondary address. If there is a secondary address, it will be stored. Now the main thing we have to give student. Request dot body dot student ID. This is the key value. You can like add any key value over here, but remember what key value you are given. You are giving here. You have to pass this. You have to pass this only by your like postman. Okay. Now we have to save this. Let's save this. Await. A variable first const address equals to this. Await. Variable address dot. But we have to use the try catch method. Try then catch error and after that we have to send the response. Copy this. Response status. This is the code request status. We want address, what we have given. Now, and give like grace dot status 400 dot send the error. Let's do it. First, we have to
Hello.
give this ID. Yes, yes.
So why we are using await keyword here?
Okay. This is the async function. Okay. For async function, we have to use the await. And for operating with our database, we have to use the async function. Okay. And you know what is the meaning of await? What is use async await? Look, in general, JavaScript function are synchronous. You know what is synchronous function?
Yes,
Synchronous
right.
function means the code will generate
One by
line by line. Yes, line by line, one by one. But by using asynchronous function, the code can reach the last line before the first line initialize. Okay, to make the code compatible with our server, to make the code time complexity lesser time complexity, we use the async function, but we use the await because until or unless this line is completed, don't go to the other line. That's why we are using await. Because if we don't create, if we did not create this, how can we save this? Right? So we have to do it first, then do the await one. Got it?
Okay.
And if this is not happening, it will throw an error. That's why you
Got
are
it,
using.
sir.
Now, let's just copy this REST endpoint. One more thing. Create localhost 2000. Change the REST endpoint. Add address, and this is the post request. Raw JSON. Now we have to give the body parameters, which is primary address, second one is our secondary address, don't want any error. Next, user ID. Okay, so for user ID, we have to give this user ID because we don't have any other user right now except this. Control C. So we copy this, and let's say primary address is Kolkata and secondary address is FSD. Okay, so we have done it. Let's check. Okay, so user ID is not pushed. Let's check why. Student ID. That's why user ID is. And we did not require this. We will have to require this until or unless there is a student ID. Don't create any object. Required. Just delete this one. Create one. Now the student ID is clear. Let's see. By calling this object, we can get the student also. Okay. When we are going to do the find operation, we'll do it. And find operation we are going to do now. Okay. At first, tell me till there if you have any queries. Any queries you can ask.
Sir, can you go into the index.js?
Just 1 second. Yes. There is the index.js. Tell me.
You have you
What
have
is the
written address require. Why this is written?
Why this is written?
Yes, sir.
Look, this is the model, address model. Okay, we are exporting the address model as address.
Yes, sir.
That's why we are requiring this one, because if we don't use this, we just have to call the just have to call this call the tables like this, and this is just a haptics that you have to create too many const for too many tables.
May I tell something?
Yes, yes,
Is it for the calling the path? I mean, this whole page, I'm just calling into one JavaScript object.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm just calling the one model.
Yeah.
Okay. And by using this, you can call them multiple tables to perform our operations, and by using only one variable. See, there is only one const variable, and in one const variable, we are just destructuring two tables. One is student, one is address. This syntax is called destructuring. Okay. Now, let's do the next thing. Any query, anyone till now? So I think there is no problem till now. Move on to the next topic, which is app.get. Now we'll use the get method. Slash get students. There is no need that you can give any path name. I just give get underscore student and same async function request response. Now to get all the student, we just need to do await student dot find. This syntax, I guess you will remember in MongoDB when we are doing the CRUD operation. It is this.
Yes, fine.
Yes. The try catch block. Try this. Catch error. Let's store this in a variable. Const find students. Now response dot status 200 dot send find student. Okay. And on the catch block, we're going to give the status. Now, let's check this out. You don't need to give any body, any parameters, anything. Just hit C. One more thing. That's all. Check data is received over here also, because our server, our any link, we are going to see you can see the get method. Okay, in our DOM, by get method, we can see anything. Now let's.
So in browser, it is coming from web or it is coming from localhost?
Localhost. See, the port is localhost 3002. From the localhost 3002, and from the route, from the endpoint, get student. Okay. Now just do something experimental over here. Okay. Let's leave this as it is. Create one more post API. By post API, we can edit also. Let's see how. No, okay, let's edit something. Let's edit student. So for editing a student, we must need the student ID, like minimum one like minimum one primary key. So let's collect the primary key first. Like const ID is equals to request dot body dot student ID. Now what we have to do? Same syntax as we had done in MongoDB. Create a variable const updated student await student dot find by ID and update. Let's give the ID first, which is this one, then give a comma, then update this, right? Just copy this. We can do one more thing. If we don't want to change everything, but we want to change just the like subject name, then we have to do like name equals to, then what we have to do? Okay, first just check like this, then we'll do other things. req dot body dot name req dot body dot gender req dot body dot subject req dot body dot company, then req dot body dot. Now race dot status 200 send updated student. Cover this in a try block. Add a catch block. Race dot status 400. This 400 means bad request. Okay. Now and 200 means success. First, just copy this. Localhost slash, what is the route name? Edit student. Edit student body Let's pass all of this. And one more thing, which is student ID. See, the name is ABC, gender is male. We'll change the subject, okay, from JavaScript to Node.js. Control C. We have to copy this. We have to send the ID, and we'll change the subject name. Where is the subject name? Student subject, yes, as Node.js. Let's see what is the problem. Okay, got it. Okay, can anyone tell me what is the problem by seeing this and this?
Sir, update student. I think.
This is not the problem. Oh, why update student? The route is given over here is ID student. That is not the problem. Anyone? Okay. We are passing the key value with name, and we are given here student name. That is the error. Now we will find. This one, but there is one more problem. Look, this is giving the previous value. Okay, so this is not good. We want the new updated value. For this, we just have to write new true. Now let's check value is Node.js. Now let's change the subject from Node.js to Express.js. Node.js to MERN stack. It's a MERN. Yes. Okay. See, now the updated value is coming over here. Refresh this. Yeah. So now, so this is the edit function. You can edit like this. What can we do? Let's get the student address with the student address, which is this one, student address with the student details. Okay, for this we just have to use app dot post. By using the post method. By post method, we also can get the values. Let's say address with details. Sync request from a response. Arrow function. What we have to do? First, we have to student by using student ID, obviously. We have to pass the student ID first. Okay. So const ID is equals to request dot body dot student ID. Done. Then what we have to do? We just need to find from our address. Const address is equals to await, let's say, student details. Student details. Await address, because the key we stored in our address. Student address dot find. How we have to find? We have to find by this section, which is student. Find student. You can use the find one method obviously. Find one student, then give the ID. Dot populate in array, give name as student. I will discuss what is the method populate. Okay. Obviously in try catch method. Let's see whether it's work or not. Request host mapping, local host, this one, and the path name. That is it. We just need to pass one parameter, which is this one. Let's see. The student is also populated. Now, let me tell what is the meaning of populate. Let's just remove the populate option. Remember this output first. Student with ID, with name, with gender, with subject, with company, with email. And now, after removing the dot populate method, what we will receive? We just receive the ID. So, just to get the student details, like by referencing, we have to use the dot populate method. Now, check. Okay, so it's also done. Now, the last operation we are going to discuss, which is delete. App dot delete. Let's pass a query. Let's pass a parameter just. delete student. Delete student with the params. Yes, you have to pass the student ID. Now, same as same REQ response, try catch block. Try method. We are just going to like take the ID equals to REQ dot params dot ID. Now await student. Okay, if we delete the student, then we have to delete the address also. Okay, so let's search for address first in address field. Const address is equals to await address dot find one which is student ID. If address means if address equals to true, means if there is any address, then what we have to do? Await address dot delete one. After the delete this. And it's done. And also you have to delete the student also. Const let's delete the const student equals to delete the student first. Student dot find by ID and delete, which is ID. If not student, return res dot status 404 dot send and else do this portion, find this one address dot delete, then send res dot status 200, no need of message, just send okay, send the message as success edition, and the catch block raise dot status 400 dot send. Yes. Save this and run. Okay. So for params, for giving the params, we have to pass the value through param. Okay. First, let's check this. The mapping we use is delete mapping, I guess. Delete mapping, yes. Localhost. Delete student with the ID. And let's give the ID first, right? Copy this object ID. Change one character. Okay. Let's 6. Error. Okay. Or you can give the error name as like student not found. Student not found. Okay. And if we change this to the real one, now let's see. Message success and cannot find any value. Not here. Also. So this is the simple like delete mapping. How we can delete. Any query?
Sir, can you please go through the last model here?
This one delete.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just do it part by part. Okay. Fast. For this, just create some value. Let's add this. And just do it one by one. App dot delete give delete student delete student async request comma response try catch block look simplest method. Okay, we have to pass the student ID obviously. ID. This is the param. This is the syntax of passing any data in params. You can pass the name by declaring the same one, but we are passing the ID. Now, const take the ID request dot params dot ID. Done. Then const delete student student goes to await student table from student table student dot find first find then by using ID this ID what will pass and delete and we just have to give the ID. Okay, now what we are doing, if let's say the student is not in the database, okay, and we are trying to delete the student which is not really exist. So for that reason we are throwing an error like if not student, this is the not operator, not student, not delete student. Matlab means the student we want to delete is not present in our database. So if something is not present in our database, so how can we delete this? Right? Cannot delete this. For this, we are just returning res dot status, which is 400 for bad request. Send, which is ER. Let's say error message. Message. Yes, in JSON format. Student not found. It's done. Now the same one. Res dot status dot res dot status 400. Sorry, 200 dot send message as success. SUCCS. And if any error occurs, if there is an error occur, res dot status 400 sent tabular forward. Okay, done. Now check if there is any student or not. Okay, let's do it by this. We want to delete this student. Let's check whether this student is really exist in our database or not. Check 1D99 and the last one is 24D7. So this student is not really exist. Now let's just, yes, in our database. Yes. Check the rest endpoint name. Delete student. Delete student. Student not found. Okay. The error we return is showing in our console. Student not found. Got it? And if the really existing student we want to delete, then Control V. Success means student is deleted. Done? Till
Yes.
now it's clear. Okay. Now the next thing what we have done here. This is the first part. On the second part, what we have done, we are just finding the address. Okay, finding in the address table that with this ID, with this student ID, if there is any address or not, if there is any object or not. If there is any object, if address equals to true means if there is any object, have it as address dot delete. Because when student is not there, what we will do with address? Nothing. Cannot do anything with the address. Then res dot status 200 then says send success, and for error res dot status for okay. So this is the basic CRUD operation using our Mongo and Express. Is it clear to everyone?
Clear, sir. Clear, sir.
Okay. Right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I guess many of the students left the meeting. Okay.
Can you please share the form validation in the GitHub?
Okay,
Last
I'm just updating the GitHub repository. Okay. If anyone need this,
Yes.
just pull it.
Sure.
Okay, I posted. Okay. Who need can easily. So that's all for today's session. If you guys have any query, now you can ask.
No query from my side. I have to go through the code.
Okay.
Have you pushed the code session?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, okay. Very good. And the video will help.
Okay, video will be shared in within an hour.
Okay, okay. Okay, sir. No problem.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, good night for all of you.
Good
Take
night,
care.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
night.
Next, sir.
Okay,
Good night.
after posting video, I inform everybody in WhatsApp.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Sir, tomorrow 12, no session. Tomorrow.
Okay, tomorrow there will be no session. Session though?
Yes, sir. Tomorrow it's not possible.
Okay, so next day we will be declared. Okay, we will inform after consulting with the session.
Okay, sir.
Okay, okay,
Thank
sir.
you. And all of you try to revise the last 4-day session. Okay, all of you try to expert. Okay.
Sure, sir.
See you, sir. See you, sir.